Hello everyone, it's Shane Kanto, your Wasteland reviewer, and I'm here to review Truman and Tennessee, an intimate conversation. And this is a new documentary from Lisa, Immordino, Vreeland, and focuses on the dueling careers, impacts, influences, and the shared experiences and friendship and collaboration of Truman Capote and Tennessee Williams. And this is such a bold piece of art because what Immordino Vreeland is able to do is add so many layers of different kinds of things to create a cohesive, flowing narrative that combines two people's stories and finds the through point and adds so much depth of themes that I was so surprised how much I got out of this hour and 25-minute documentary. You have Truman Capote, who was famous for being famous. He was just an iconic figure at this point. And you have him being interviewed about love and friendship and the differences and sex and his relationships. And you have clips of Breakfast at Tiffany's and In Cold Blood and these certain works that really solidified who he was and what he brought to the world of art. And then you have Tennessee Williams in very similar fashion being interviewed, getting a sense of what he brought to the table. And with the great, you have Cat on a Hot Tin Roof, Streetcar Named Desire, and you have all these different works. And this film does such a great job of painting a picture of two very complex individuals that it's not there to talk about, are these good people? Why we should like them. It just presents them as people. And they're complex, and they're layered, and they have different perspectives. And you also get to hear from each other about the other. And that adds that layer of how this is a dual ride along here and how each of their stories bolsters the other to really, this film becomes more than just the sum of its parts in many ways. You have this bold storytelling of adding these different layers because you have, clips of their works and what we get from that. We have these clips of this interview series, same interviewer, the two of them being asked all these questions. You have other voiceovers where it's both of them for real, the actual men talking about their experiences and also talking about each other. And then you have the probably gotten from written responses and written ideas and stories, and they're acted out by Jim Parsons and Zachary Quinto for Truman and Tennessee respectively. And through all of these different aspects, which all work so effectively, they pull together to paint this cohesive and detailed and comprehensive portrait of two eccentric and impactful artists and how relatable they were to each other and the connections that they had as human beings, as artists, as influencers, as famous celebrities in the world of art. And, in terms of Truman Capote, just in general, he was this iconic figure. And you get so many layers to them. You gain their perspectives of each other. There's one really sweet moment of Tennessee talking about how he wishes the best for Truman, whether on earth or in heaven. And being like, you notice I didn't mention the Inferno. He'll never be going there. He's a true artist. And even just like little things like that seem like they're not so important, just paint the perspectives of each other from their peer, their friend, their colleague. And this documentary is able to have each of these layers of their works being interviewed, their thoughts through their own voices, these dramatizations, their thoughts acted out by talented actors, all coming together, and this really feels like a piece of art. This documentary is bold and dynamic in the way that it pulls all of these different aspects together to paint a full picture. And you don't get to see a whole lot of documentaries that will try to go that far in terms of layering, because this is so much to try to take on, and this is only an hour and 25 minutes, but somehow it feels so full and fully realized and comprehensive of these two men. And I was really impressed by the intimacy of this film and how they're able to capture these two men and their influences. This was definitely one of my favorite documentaries of the year. But those are my thoughts on Truman and Tennessee, an intimate conversation. Let me know what you think, and let's talk some movies. But thank you as always for tuning in and supporting your Wasteland reviewer.